According to the Bible, men and women are equal. Now, we see this very early on. It's in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. And it says, God created man in his image. In his image, he created man. Male and female, he created them. Okay. What it is telling us is that God created mankind to bear his image. And mankind has two versions of mankind. There's a male version and a female version of mankind. Both versions equally bear the image of God. Well, bearing God's image is kind of a big deal. So why would he make two different versions? Well, that's really the thing. Why would God make two different versions of something that, and it's kind of a big deal because nothing else in creation bears his image. Nothing else. Mankind bears God's image. Nothing else bears God's image. Um, and so if we think about it just from, if we're being honest, the male version of mankind and the female version of mankind are quite different. Not just in the plumbing, but in general, generally speaking, the physical size of men is larger than females, and there are certain physical characteristics that men in general have that uh, women do not. Intellectually, it's accepted now in scientific circles that men and women think differently. We see the world differently. One's not better than the other. It's just that we we see things differently in the world. We react to external stimuli differently. Again, not one better than the other. It's just different. Men and women are different. It's clear they're different. And we're different down to the cellular level. Um, a scientist can take a cell from an unknown person and tell you if it's a male or a female. Our DNA is different. The male DNA is different than the female DNA. And what does that tell us? Well, first off, this whole idea that we can transition a man to become a woman or a woman to become a man, that's uh, that's not possible, and we all know that. But I think that as a society, we've played along because we don't want to hurt people's feelings, and I get that. There's no sense in being unkind to people, but sometimes the kind thing is to just tell the truth, and the truth is that. If you are born a male, you have male characteristics, and there's nothing that can be done about that. Now, in the spectrum of what it means to be a male, there's going to be males on one side that um, have are very male, very male characteristics, and then there's going to be males on the other side that have some very what we would call feminine characteristics, right? And then, but most of us are in the middle. And then, likewise with women, there are some women that have very, feminine characteristics, and some that have male characteristics. But most of them are going to be in the middle. So, why does God produce two versions of mankind that equally bear his image? Well, those differences are why. We are different for a reason. We're different for a reason, but we both are equally bear his image. Keep that in mind. And so I like to think about this is that if you have a coin, um, both sides of the coin make the one coin. It takes two sides of the same coin to make a coin. Well, so in the image, bearing coin, one side is male and one side is female, meaning that together we bear a man and a woman together, one man, one woman together, bear God's image better than independently. Better than independently. And that's really the crux of this. This is why we are equal but different, right? We together we bear God's image. Separate, maybe we still do, but it's not. We're not going to be anything like it when we're together. This is we see this in the very next verse in Genesis 1 verse 28. In that verse, God says, "Be fruitful and multiply, and have dominion over all the earth." So that's both for that's the task He gives to men and women. Be fruitful and multiply, and that requires a man and a woman to multiply. Right? Two women cannot have a baby. Two men cannot have a baby. A man, the seed of a man, and the seed of a woman come together to form other uh, uh, representations of mankind. So that's to be fruitful and to have dominion over the earth. Uh, a man and a woman together can establish dominance in their family, in their locale, around their house, whatever. They can establish dominance a lot easier than just a single man or a single woman. The man and woman work together to dominate the area that is around them. The team, they become a team. That's the whole point of men and women being equal. Now, why say all this? Well, there's a lot of other things that I've said, obviously, that you know go against our culture. But recently, I saw an article where a Islamic cleric was comparing women to chattel. He was saying that Allah made woman for man, but she was really no more important than a cow or the donkey or whatever other living being that the man owned. She, in other words, a woman, according to this Islamic imam, and I don't know if they're all like this, but this one clearly said that uh, man was clearly higher than woman. Woman was really no better than an animal. Um, well, that's not what the Christian faith teaches. It's not what the Jewish faith teaches. I don't know enough about other religious faiths, other than it appears that some in the Islamic faith do not believe in the equality of man and woman. But in the Christian faith, that is not true. Man and woman are equal, and that comes directly from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 and 28. Um, my name is Ray Dillman. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I really would love to respond to any comments. Please leave a comment. I will. I'd love to respond. I'd love to see it. If you want to support the Disciple Warriors ministry, order a copy of the Disciple Warriors Handbook online. You find it in Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart. It's a worthwhile get, and it won't cost you very much. May God bless your journey into becoming the man that He created you to be.